So, DJ Hijack,
Mr. Gordon.
are you ready, sir?
Never am.
You never are.
Never am I. I didn't want to say it in perfect English. Screw you.
You know, but you're supposed to use correct. We're in a podcast. You know what? Cue the music.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Welcome, everybody. My name is DKG72.
What a wonderful.
And this is the Big Fat Podcast. And DJ Hijack, guess what? We made history today for the Big Fat Podcast. We have made history. We made history. You know why?
Why?
We're going to have our first guest on the show.
I'm your first guest.
Yes, you are. So,
well, first recorded guest.
Yeah, our first real guest. You just don't know how ratchet this operation is.
Okay.
But for the 5 or 6 listeners that we have, we're going to.
I mean, we tried to record Kevin Hart. He got all upset about it.
Yeah, imagine. I mean, you know, it was just behind the mirror. So who knew? Who knew? But Hijack,
yeah,
we've got a young lady with us today. She is she's doing the damn thing, man. She's a mover and shaker in the industry. She's got a couple websites that she's created, and she's monetizing and doing all kinds of grand things. She's hosting, and you know, you might see her on ESPN. So I would like to introduce to you and the Big Fat Nation the wonderful, the original sugar gamer, Miss Keisha Howard. How you doing, ma'am?
Hello. What a stellar opening.
Yeah.
He's one for hyperbole, but hopefully yours is just flat true.
Don't listen to him. He likes to hate on how my flair.
DJ Hijack don't seem like he a hater. You're not a hater, are you?
No, I'm not a hater. Not in any way a professional hater at all. I just dislike things with skill.
Wow. See, there you go. That's terrible.
And now it begins.
Yes, it does. All right. So before we get into our normal ratchetness and tomfoolery, since we do have a special guest, and we kind of cleaned up the house for her and everything, we need you, Miss Howard, to talk to the Big Fat Nation and just kind of tell them who you are, and they know who you are now, but tell them your story.
All right. Well, for the last 9 years I've been running an organization called Sugar Gamers, which is an advocacy organization. So basically the goal is to represent underserved demographics in video games, geek culture, and technology. And we do that in a really fun way because, like, what video gamers do you know that aren't super fun and super cool? My history, though, I used to be in real estate, and I also run another website called The Blaze Breakers, because I met so many creative and talented people in sugar gamers that now I'm able to do branding and marketing from this really interesting perspective. So we can really come up with brand concepts that are very original and unique. So that's what I do. I work all the time and I get no sleep, but I have a fun life.
Well, we're all used to the no sleep lifestyle right here, team no sleep, and that sounds good. Now I met you a couple years ago in Chicago, and I saw some of the things that you were doing with the Blaze Breakers. Let's kind of delve into a little bit of the creative side of that. Are those just all female creators, or is it just more of a diverse, male, female, black, white, transgender? Who knows?
Well, Sugar Gamers, when I first started it in 2009, was definitely female focused. It was definitely geared toward female audience. But then one of the things that I strongly, believe is that like safe spaces should just be temporary, right? So
Right.
like the whole point is to like, yeah, more women need to be in that space, but not at the exclusion of men. More Black people need to be in this space, but not at the exclusion of other races. More people from the LGBT community need to be in this space, but again, so on and so forth. So basically, I opened up the organization and pretty much everything that I do to anybody who understands that mission and understands our company culture. So as long as you are advocating for those people who don't have a voice in the space,
Right.
that's who, I pretty much have on my team.
So all are welcome.
Yeah. Say, what did you ask me? Hello?
Like all the most crazy experience that you've had so far.
Say that one more time.
What's been the craziest experience that you've had so far?
Oh my God, there's been so many, especially with Sugar Gamers. I don't know, maybe meeting Stan Lee or fighting robots or...
Wait, you fought robots?
Yes. So,
Wait, how come I don't get to fight robots?
You're lame.
That's not fair. This is not fair. So you got to fight robots.
Yes. So, it's quite a few years now, but in 2013, I was on a show on the Sci-Fi Channel called Robot Combat League. So I fought these humanoid, 8-foot tall robots. It was like a surreal experience. So I've never been around such talented, intelligent individuals. I mean, just a room filled with roboticists, engineers, people that worked on the Mars rover, people in the military. Just George Lucas's daughter was on there. It was really crazy experience. I'm sad that more people didn't get to see it, but I got to experience it, and it definitely was something that it's not a lot of things that compare to that. Not many people can say that they fought robots, so it's something that's really cool for me. Crazy, I don't know. I have so many crazy stories. You gotta be more specific about what place in my life you want to know about.
Well, I know I saw you pop up on ESPN not too long ago. What was that experience like?
Well, I have been going to Evo. This is like my third Evo that I went to. But a lot of companies like ESPN and Watch Mojo and several others, they're starting to understand the importance of representation in this space. So ESPN wanted me to help them explore the intersection of culture, sports, and race at Evo. So I wasn't just like there to interview the pro players, but there to really understand the shifts that were occurring in the community. And with the fighting game community has come a long way, so like from 5 years ago even to now, like, man, I just feel like it's matured so much. So like that's what I covered with ESPN, is just really delving deep into conversations about the maturity of the FGC, where it's going, and what esports is really looking like, as a career for these young people, so like what it looks like for a space for women, what it looks like. It's very fascinating community to like see shift and grow.
Yeah, that's cool, and it's to think that at least the fighting game community is maturing now. If we can only get the first person shooters to mature. Hi, PewDiePie. But and it's interesting that ESPN. I noticed that companies like TNT and ESPN are starting to take a lot more interest in esports. It still seems like they don't have a grasp on it. What do you think about that, IJ?
Oh no, I'd say ESPN definitely has a decent grasp. I mean, they've been dealing with eSports for years. Like they've been dealing with Major League Gaming for forever. Like remember when they came and went to the Major League Gaming Halo event about 7 years ago. ESPN was there.
Oh,
so they're pretty in on it. It's getting there. It's the public that needs to catch up.
Yeah, I agree. It's the public, but with companies like the Philadelphia 76ers buying the esports teams and some of these other big franchises kind of delving in there, I think esports is really about to take off. So
speaking of games, a lot of the games came out recently. What are you playing? What are you currently playing?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what? I am very surprised, but I'm in love with my Nintendo Switch. I love all not all the games, but I've been playing like a few interesting games. Like I'm a boring gamer, believe it or not. I love games, but not the kind of games that are cool and competitive and that makes a person an esports player. Anyways, so I'm playing the Switch. I just started playing this game called The Bridge. So are you familiar with MC Escher?
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's this game that has been inspired by his art, and you navigate all these worlds that look like MC Escher's brainchilds, and you solve puzzles, and it's really fun to me. I love it. I play lots of Mario Kart, lots and lots of Mario Kart. I like this game. I love this game actually, called Tumbleseed. It's hard as hell. The game that I am addicted to, like whenever I find somebody to play with, I make them play with me, is Overcooked. I love this game, Overcooked, so much.
What's that game about?
Overcooked is a multiplayer game where you basically have to use teamwork in order to make food. So like basically you're these little chibi characters and you're running around a kitchen and there's these obstacles that are in the way to maybe prevent you and your team members from doing a good job. So it's an interesting game and it's really fun. It sounds really cutesy. It looks really cutesy, but it's incredibly challenging. Like the kind of games I play that aren't, on the Switch right now, I'm still like kind of in love with, and these are old, so forgive me. I'm not playing Destiny 2 right now, but I love Deus Ex. I love the one on PlayStation 3. I like the one on PlayStation 4. Like I love that game. There hasn't been another game for me that I've quite had the same experience. But I do like Dishonored. I play that. Like again, I'm late, so I don't need to play everything immediately. And I also like Hitman, Tomb Raider. Like I like those games where it's like more than one way to win, more than one way to play.
Multiple ways to take situation. Yeah, I feel you. So even though you're a Nintendo, it's okay.
Well, that's just new because I used to, forgive my language. Is our kids going to be listening to this show?
Now, if they are, we fight kids, so it's all good. Yeah.
All right, cool. I mean, for the longest time, I used to think that Nintendo was for pussies. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not into Nintendo. I mean, for years, like between Nintendo GameCube and now, like I haven't really been that into Nintendo. And then like I did a promotion where I, was playing the Switch, and I just fell back in love with Nintendo. I don't know what, like there's so many like really nifty, innovative concepts that the Switch has, and it's just awesome. So like, yeah, I actually have returned back to Nintendo. I was dragged a little bit, a little kicking and screaming there, but I'm happy that Nintendo finally, has started to appeal to my adult sensibilities at this time.
Yeah, you sound like another friend of ours, Mr. Jonathan London, and his love for Nintendo.
Well, no, she's nowhere near as bad as him.
Yeah, Jonathan will actually kidnap us.
Jonathan's a Nintendo zombie.
he will force feed it down our throats. You will love
He
You love
collects
the
he
amiibos.
collects amiibos. That's all.
Oh wow, I'm not there yet.
Yeah. You haven't fallen that far into the sickness.
Yes.
I mean, now, just so it's known, I'm anti-Nintendo in every way. So just like,
Yeah, see,
it's not my
I've
hair, I
actually
just don't like
considered the
Nintendo.
Switch. So I've actually considered getting a Switch at some point, but
I would have if I haven't had one for years, and it was called an NVIDIA Shield. You know, I'm just saying.
well, that's
But-
that's what made me want to get it. It's like, hey, and it's colorful too.
You're jolly. That's why you like the Nintendo.
I am a jolly fat person.
Nintendo just doesn't fit my horrible demeanor.
So what other games are you into right now? There, or are you looking forward to? DJ Hijack.
Oh well, right now I'm actually looking forward to. I've been playing a little Fortnite because I'm having a grown up adult version of Minecraft is always fun. It was all right. It's interesting. And then they just recently announced that they're gonna add a battle royale mode, which has gone and pissed off all the PUBG players and PUBG people as if they invented battle royale, and they're even talking about they're copying from us, they're stealing. Like PUBG, I do believe came from H1Z1, a whole separate game that also copied battle royale mode. So who are you to talk? But it seems like it's gonna be big. Of course, they're worried because it'll be free for Fortnite.
Right.
If for those who don't know, Fortnite's I would say it's a more adult version of Minecraft. The art's a little bit better. The art style is closer to say an Overwatch or a Team Fortress.
Mm-hmm.
You go around with people. You build forts to defend yourself from other players and from the things that come out at night. Now with the battle royale mode, it's just like PUBG, but only colorful, a little bit more. I'd say it's actually a little bit more accessible.
One life to live.
Oh yeah, it's still One Life to Live, but you can see
Right.
it's a little bit more fun. The weapons make it a little bit more fun. So I've been digging Fortnite, and I'm looking forward to that mode. Other than that, Call of Duty.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the new Call of Duty. I'm still going back and forth on whether I want to at least get the Modern Warfare upgrade and just play it, because I've just been on Advanced Warfare for like ever, because I haven't want to move. So I'm looking forward to that. I do want to try out Destiny 2, and I'm going to probably dip my toe in the Overwatch pool. At least
You haven't dipped it in there yet?
No, I haven't dipped my toe in there, and we've had some pretty big friends that have been like, you need to jump in there.
Yeah, I've been thinking about going back and retrying Overwatch. I went there, but it's not my style of game. It's like Team Fortress. I love how people act like it's a new thing, but it's just Team Fortress with a new dressing. And Team Fortress is too team based for me. I need a little bit more deathmatch in my life.
Yeah.
Now that they've added deathmatch to Overwatch, I'm a little interested, but I don't have time to play that many games.
Yeah.
So it's not impressive enough to pull me away from Call of Duty yet to get there. And with the new games coming up, that plus Far Cry's coming out soon, so I have to have my time.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of time for games because I got the book going and doing that. And speaking of comic books,
So, well, before we go, I got to mention the one game that I constantly play,
what's that?
and that's the best game on the market. It's called Triple Town. Yes, it's a match 3 game that I play on my tablet constantly.
You've been playing that game forever,
I've been playing
man.
that game for 5 years straight.
Oh
I play
my
it
God.
every day, at least 3 times a day. Yes, it's a little free to play match 3 game on my phone, and of course, Angry Birds Pop is amazing.
Wow.
So people like to use that against me as a gamer, but hey, whatever you like, whatever brings joy to you.
Well, it just means that you can't be so mean towards the Nintendo.
Oh yes,
Nintendites.
I can.
No, you can't. You
Yes, I
play
can.
Triple Town. So
Yes, my little Bouncy Bears are way more serious.
So Keisha, no Bouncy Bears for you, or in your video games?
Bouncy Bear? No. I don't like my games too cute.
They're adorable, but these bears kill people. So
You talk like, is it like Naughty Bear?
no, it's not like Naughty Bear. They're just cute. They actually get in your way as you try to build a town. It's a match 3 game. I'd say
That sounds so adorable.
not horribly adorable, but it's adorable.
It sounds very adorable. That's all I have to say.
Just screaming townsfolk. That's all.
Okay. Screaming Town folks always works. So matriculate over to? I've been wanting to use that word for the longest.
I would say I was proud of you, but I never will be.
I hate you. Anyway, let's matriculate over to the world of comics. And so, Ms. Howard, what are you currently checking out at the old comic book shop, or Comixology, or Amazon, or wherever you get your books from?
Oh man, that's a good one. Let me see. Well, actually, I've been reading. I have been such Rick and Morty. Like, I've been like literally obsessed with Rick and Morty that now I've started buying the comics. And if you watch enough Rick and Morty, you can read the Rick and Morty comics, and it's like you can hear the voices, of like Rick and Morty. Like, the writing is pretty spot on. They stay on character, they stay on brand, and the comics have made me like laugh out loud quite a few times. I really like the comics. Let's see what else I got. Like, I mean, I'm definitely an indie comic person, so you're not going to hear me talking about the newest Marvel or DC. So I'm like more so Image, the Image stuff. So like Saga, I like Fables, and that's kind of, they've been out for a while. But like the last comics that I purchased, definitely Rick and Morty. They just hit my need for really, really dark humor right now.
That's what's up. Now, going to Rick and Morty for a minute, they're becoming like a cult.
The cult of Rick and Morty?
With the cult of Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty is becoming like a cult right now.
I'd say it's really
I understand why, though.
I'd say it's more like the cult of Dan Hartman. It's all these people who followed him from Community, and Dan's gotten into that place where it's like he can do no wrong. So I like Rick and Morty. I think people big it up a little too much. For people who haven't had it, I've noticed a few people get in and like, this isn't as great as you make it seem. Like, they're funny, but I heard, if you like Community and his other stuff, you would definitely like Rick and Morty.
What I've heard was a gasp of flabbergasting, where I heard somebody become flabbergasted. So, would you like to retort on the Rick and Morty is bigged up a little too much?
I'm not gonna say that that's like just not possible. Like, of course, Rick and Morty is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it's very relevant in the world that we live in right now, where everything is so incredibly PC. So it's hard to have certain discussions. It's hard to say certain things that are mean or hurtful or whatever, because it's like people getting in trouble left and right for saying what's on their mind, for like being honest. And Rick and Morty has like created this world in which Rick can say these really terrible things that have a bit of truth to them, and I think that people have been like craving that, because we like live in a world where you walk on eggshells now, because whatever you do or say is going to offend some community. Somebody's going to feel like it was an insensitive statement. So, and like now South Park used to fill that void of being like, well, we're going to say the things that no one is saying. And like now they're kind of unable to do that as well. So I think that Rick and Morty, the reason why people like it so much, people feel so connected to it, because like Rick Sanchez as a character just is terrible but smart, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he gets to say the things that we're thinking, I think. Like there's some episodes where I'm just like, oh man, if I could just say that, that's how I feel. That's what I would do, And I that's why I think it's so popular. Like, it's not like, oh my God, it can do no wrong. I think that that's not it, but it definitely does resonate with our current like sort of political climate, our current social climate. For sure.
Oh yeah, and I can agree with you. Matter of fact, South Park is the perfect analogy to Rick and Morty. Morty is like today's South Park.
Okay.
Remember the height of size of the South Park madness. It was blowing up to like it's the greatest thing since sliced cheese too. It's like they were like it's like no, it's good. It's
but
good.
It's not what you're saying.
It's not. Yeah, but I feel like people are setting up a lot of people for disappointment when they come to it because they're not telling them why they like it. They just say it's the greatest, and then I've noticed a few people gone in and like it's just so horrible. Like people had told you it was horrible, you would have got that.
Right, you will understand that it's what was another
now
show that we like?
BoJack Horseman's another one. Very it's along the lines of how Rick Morty is now, where he goes to places where people are like, oh, I haven't gone there. Except BoJack is more like, how do you make the fresh thing funny?
Which is really, really scary when you think about it. It's like, yeah, this is depressing, but that was hilarious. I shouldn't be laughing at this, but I am. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me?
And that's where you realize nothing. You should be able to laugh at things.
Well, that is true. That is true. Yeah, with the Rick and Morty thing, I've watched a couple episodes and I have enjoyed them. I haven't. I'm one of those people that was just like, okay, this is funny, but it's not the godlike experience that people think it is. And then I always get weirded out by that green stuff on Morty. I can't. It's like
it's slobber.
Yeah, it's like the moly. You just keep pointing at it. It's like it's there. I don't like that.
That's pretty cool, And then since you asked her about her comic reading things, what about you, Mr. Gordon? What books are you checking out?
You know what? I haven't been reading too many books because I've been making books. But I did take the time out to check out Mark Millar's Empress. I got the hardcover trade paperback, and it was an interesting read. It was a very fun story, and it didn't have the Millar-isms that I was used to, where he was trying to be in your face with the with like the fighting or the non-PC content, so to speak. He just told a straight up science fiction fantasy story, and it pretty much hit all the regular beats. So
did it feel like he was trying to make this a nice little movie script, or was it actually just a straight comic?
No, it was well. Here's the thing. It felt like both. It was a very good comic book, but because I'm a writer, I quickly picked up this is a script, and it has a lot of beats, but it also had some comic book stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm good with that.
So I haven't really been reading much comics either myself. Did dabble in and check out a bit of Secret Empire.
I heard that was I heard that when you actually read it, people were surprised with what they got.
See, people are being real hard on Marvel right now, just because it's the in thing to do.
Right.
I would say that although Secret Empire isn't the greatest thing in the world, it doesn't suck. It almost sucks.
Well, it just sounded like it sounded to me from some of the things I've seen on YouTube, that it's just another. It's let's deconstruct America and we'll use Captain America to do it.
Well, no, it's something. No, it's the concept is a good idea. It's great. It's called "What If Captain America was the greatest villain in the Marvel universe?"
Right.
I mean, it makes sense. The concept was fine. It's a lot of the execution was bad. The writing was haphazard in places, which is like that's what's really the problem on Marvel right now. Is they're having a big editorial problem. Like everything's everywhere. You can't. If Bendis wants to do something, he does what the hell he wants. Your book, everybody else's books be damned.
Yes, that is.
Even Secret Empire, I think the biggest problem is you have to keep up too much stuff that's popping around to try to glean the true story.
Right.
The actual story in Secret Empire could have been told in maybe 2 books, maybe 3. I mean, it's like this could have just been a big 1 month 4-issue event done, or it's a big summer event done, and just a few books in the middle of the summer. And they could have been done with it and got it out of the way and had a lot less ire. Now, but I find funny is how people deride Marvel for it, but DC does this constantly too. And currently, but nobody gets on them about it. I mean,
Yeah, but DC's not number one.
Marvel goes and makes Captain America a Nazi, but Superman can be the Red Sun. Superman
a communist.
Have you read Injustice?
Yeah.
It's you can do that all day. And basically Secret Empire is just like Injustice.
Well,
but it's not an
and Injustice is just another one of the many what if Superman was an asshole storylines that DC trots out every now and then. They're like, hey, what if Superman was an asshole?
So, but yeah, I checked that out. And there, I checked out a few of the DC Rebirth books. I just don't get it.
It's the Rebirth.
They call it Rebirth, but it feels so much like the same old.
Even the Watchmen teaser is not.
No, that's the thing. It's just
working for you.
It's just a tease. It really hasn't been. Everybody. It's just enough to get nerd boys to go like, ooh, there's something in there that might have something to do with something. It's got to do with something.
Ooh, speaking of the nerd boys, there was a great rejoicing in the nerd boy universe recently with the announcement of the return of Wizard magazine. So, what do you guys think about that?
There was a rejoicing.
It was. Nerd boys was like, it's back.
Well,
now we can get our lists.
Well, there's a few people who are acquaintances of the big bad hero that are part of the Return of Wizard magazine.
Yes, sir.
So I'm pulling for them. I'd like to do well, but this ain't the '90s. So we'll see how that goes. At the same time, also I noticed that people just hit that Gerald Sheamus is back, and he started his own con, and so he's going to compete with Wizard himself. And so that'll be very interesting. Wizards go against their originators in this con book.
Right. What do you think about all these conventions and the return of Wizard?
The return of the Wizard World Convention?
Well, no, the return of Wizard magazine, and then
Wizard as a magazine.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't really have much. Like, I don't have any previous nostalgia. If that's what you're asking. Like, I was never. Like, I don't have any connection with it.
You never got any of the gatefold covers or the what other covers they did, the holographic covers, all those crazy things they used to do. You never once picked up one of those magazines to look through at the top 10 or anything like that. Top 10 writer, top 10 artists.
Like for Wizard magazine?
Yeah.
Nope. I'm old too, so like I mean, if maybe like Nintendo Power, yeah, like like Electronic Gaming Monthly, yeah, but like Wizard, I don't quite have that connection with that particular magazine. I know I'm just like fucking up my game and geek cred right now, but like I'm just like what?
No, your geek cred is pretty much solidified. You got a Nintendo Switch, so all the geeks are like going over that. So you're good there.
The geekdom's on the spectrum,
Yeah.
There's geeks that point in so many different directions. We can't all be in the same.
And that brings me to another point I was going to bring out. This is actually a great time to be a black nerd geek, as opposed to like the 80s and early 90s when this was still you're weird. Right.
I mean, it's a much better time. Now I will say, it's great. You can go around and proudly say that you're a nerd nowadays, being black. That's cool. I will say though, don't get it twisted. Everybody's not. Like the nerds are running. The nerds are doing better. We ain't running it just yet.
No, I don't think we'll ever run it, but at least it's nice to be able to come out the shadows like Schmeagle.
It's a good time.
So
we got some stuff going. It's going well. We're gonna have a Black Panther coming out. We're gonna show out for that.
Yeah, everybody's Twitter is so lit over Black Panther. They're still waiting. So going back to cons for a minute, what cons are you planning on attending, and what will we see the Sugar Gamers or the Blaze Breakers doing?
Well, basically, you can just focus on the Sugar Gamers because the Blaze Breakers, that's like my corporate entity. No one cares about that as much. The Sugar Gamers, however, we might be at. I'm still waiting to see if I'm gonna go to New York Comic Con. We're definitely gonna go to Stanley's Kamikaze. We're definitely gonna go to CES. Sorry, my cat scared the bejesus out of me. We're gonna we have at least 3 or 4 more cons that we're gonna do this year. We're gonna have a game jam here in Chicago. Yeah, so we're gonna just be New York, LA, and Vegas before the end of the year. All right, within the next 3 or 4 months.
So this game jam that you're gonna have in Chicago, tell us a little about that.
First, you can't come. No, I'm just playing. So there's another community called the Voxels, and we're going to be collaborating with them to bring more immersive experiences and opportunities to this space. So we're gonna have a game jam and try to make some games and get people to understand that the barrier to entry isn't as difficult as it might seem. You just got to get out there. You got to be, disciplined and learning the things you need to learn. And then you need to network and collaborate with individuals. So we're going to see what kind of teams we can put together and what kind of games we can create in a day. So that should be fun.
Oh, that sounds great.
Sounds like good times.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked comics, we talked games. Let's talk a little bit about movies. We had some cool little trailers come out this week.
Yes, we did.
We had the epicness that was the Punisher trailer.
Did you see the Punisher trailer?
I saw pictures from the Punisher trailer, but I haven't seen the Punisher trailer quite yet. I'm more excited, to be honest with you, about I don't know why my brain is failing me right now. With the Domino, with the cool black chick, with the Afro.
Deadpool.
Yes, I am so sorry. Brain fart. That's what I'm looking forward to. If I'm looking forward to a movie, I'm kind of into the comic book movies that don't take themselves so seriously. I love Guardians of the Galaxy for that reason. All the other ones. What?
You love which one for what reason?
Guardians of the Galaxy for the reason that it's a comic book movie that doesn't take itself too seriously.
Right.
Well, on that line, have you seen? How are you feeling about Thor Ragnarok coming out?
I'm actually kind of interested in seeing it. I'm not mad at Thor. It's not one of my favorites, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. I'd go and it'd be cool. But I'm more excited about Deadpool.
Yeah, well, I say Thor Ragnarok. You gotta remember, Thor Ragnarok does have Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, you
Jeff
can't go
Goldblum
wrong.
Makes things better.
You can't go wrong with the Jeff Goldblum as Jurassic Park.
All right, if you guys had to pick between Nicolas Cage and Jeff Goldblum, who would you pick?
Ooh,
whoa. That's
hold on. Now, are we talking about crazy Nicolas Cage or calm Nicolas Cage? Because there's a difference.
There is a difference, but Nicolas Cage is an enigma, and you don't know when you're gonna get until you just are in that experience.
That's really a tough question. Wow.
No, it's not a tough question. See, Goldblum is a knight on the town dancing, whereas Nicolas Cage is you went out with your buddies, you got high, you snorted some coke, you went and you went and got into a fight with a couple of prostitutes. You got shot by a midget because you called him a midget.
Well, yeah.
Hey, that's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, that is. Both
are good times.
Yeah, but they're both are good times.
But one you can only do every once in a while.
Well, okay, all right. So, what recent Jeff Goldblum movies or what have you seen in the last few years that gave you that Jeff Goldblum always good?
But
those commercials.
Yes. I've seen the commercial. His fake phone commercials.
Right, his fake phone commercials are just those are pure Jeff. Those are 100% Goldblum.
Yeah, it's very chill.
They're very chill.
Yeah, they're very chill. I liked them on the league on
the
TV. That's pretty good. But it's a little different because of at the same time, Nicolas Cage, I quite enjoyed him on
at least one movie a year that is weird and it's just why are you?
That's what I said. It's a different kind of trip.
That's the thing. See, here's the thing. We love both Nick and Jeff. It's just
I wasn't either or them.
Yeah,
they're not the same kind of thing.
Yeah, I think Nick is in his own category.
Yeah, there's not that many Nicolas Cage things.
That's like hanging out with Bobby Brown.
Even more important, like I said, Nicolas Cage kind of competes with himself.
Well, all I'm saying is, my point is, if Nicolas Cage was in Thor Ragnarok, I might actually want to see it even a little bit more. I think I might have to pick Nicolas Cage over Jeff Goldblum.
I don't know. It would make me curious, but it would also make me worried if Nicolas Cage.
I mean, you don't worry about Marvel and DC superhero movies to begin with. I worry about them every time I go into the theater.
I never worry about a Marvel movie.
Nah, and
because I trust the way they do the machine.
I just get disappointed with DC movies.
Yeah, either a Marvel movie is going to be. I haven't seen a Marvel movie that just made me went, "That's a bad movie." I've seen something I went, well, that was nothing special. You know what? I take it back. The second Avengers movie, I said that's a bad movie.
Yeah, that was.
But the rest of them I was okay with, and then I was blown away by. Now, Goldblum is just a nice additive thing on top of stuff. He doesn't ruin a movie. Nicolas Cage will either make a movie great,
or he will take it into the depths of hell.
It's a gamble. It's a fun. It's a
fun gamble
because you might get Ghost Rider.
Yeah, or then you might get
Ghost Rider 2.
Right.
A lot of people don't like Ghost Rider 2, but I like that one. I don't like the first one.
I actually am the opposite. I don't like the second one. I like the first one.
So you have problems. But
come on, the transformation scene alone is hilarious. His first transformation.
I mean, and then of course, other good Nicolas Cage, like the recent time is Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah,
their remake of Bad Lieutenant was very fun. We're just going to get Nicolas Cage running around scaring the exhibit.
Yes, which is pretty good. Nicolas Cage and cocaine are kind of like.
Now, the one Marvel property I think they should have Nicolas Cage on is Luke Cage. Just out of respect.
Yeah.
What?
But that's where he took his last name from.
Yeah, he's a big Luke Cage fan.
Yeah.
So when he was coming up with his stage name, he said Nicolas.
His favorite comics was Iron Man and Iron Fist. So he made his last name Cage.
Yep. And that's how he got the name.
Instead of going with Coppola.
Yeah.
Wow, the more you know.
Yeah.
And knowing is half the battle. So yeah, wow. You kind of tripped.
I would really like to see it. I would like to see Nicolas Cage on The Punisher as Bullseye, one of the bad guys. That would have been great.
Oh, that would have been
great.
Yes, he would be nice. Because we'll definitely get crazy. Nicolas Cage.
Now that you brought it up, this is a whole new topic. I think now Nicolas Cage, like imagine Suicide Squad 2
with Nicolas Cage.
Replace him with being the Joker. And you let him be full Nicolas Cage.
That might get an Oscar. That has Oscar possibilities. Because you would have a full-blown Nicolas Cage just going.
I mean, sure.
Sorry.
Sure, Jared Leto just has to go back and do music again.
But who cares? It'll be good for him. It'll be good for him. So.
Well, that was a great deal. We also had a lovely trailer come out for Tomb Raider.
Yes, the Tomb Raider trailer.
Reimagining a Tomb Raider. This Tomb Raider, which is based off the reboot video game and not the original, so it has nothing to do with the old Angelina Jolie movies. And we now have Alicia Vikander, from who we last saw in I think it was Man for Uncle.
Yeah.
Now she's the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, the thing that's really that I find interesting about that trailer is that everybody is scared shitless about this movie. They don't know what to make of it.
Well, I've been bothered by is everybody's talking about how they were like, because the trailer just looked decent and didn't look. They're like, oh, this is gonna be bad. Like there was nothing in the trailer that shows it's bad.
That's what I'm talking about.
They're just gonna expect like, well, like don't let Tomb Raider trip.
Right. Now that's the thing that kind of irks me about geekdom in general, is how we jump to conclusions.
I believe she's engaged to Mark Strong, so there's a little something else there.
Yeah.
Not Mark Strong, Seth Creed.
Oh yeah. But the geek's ability to just jump to conclusions is just like,
well, no,
this sucks.
That's part of being a geek.
Is that a part of being a geek?
What's part of being a geek?
Jumping to conclusions?
No.
I think it is.
That's part of being an idiot, but it's not part of being a geek.
A good amount of geek contingent from at least since I've grown has always been we jump to conclusions. We just decide things without actually being proven it, and then we imagine things from that. I noticed is like that's a big part of geek.
Well, yeah. I don't know if it's...
since forever. Part of geekdom, I would say, because of it. That's why we get Star Wars movies we don't want. Let's explain stuff that don't need explaining.
But it needs to
You
be
need
explained.
Metachlorians. Metachlorians showed up because there was geeks jumping to conclusions, and so it made George Lucas think I need to tell them about this.
Well, yeah, but that's what geeks do. Yeah. But the Punisher trailer looks super epic. I can't wait to see that. That's something that's going to. Hopefully, that show is as explosive.
Yeah. Do you like any of the?
It's a Raider movie. Like,
yeah, he
say about this.
You totally jump over Tomb Raider. I said it. I like the trailer. I just find it interesting that everybody has just decided that. Oh my god. Oh, and then that's she can offer her opinion anytime.
Oh, I'm offering it now.
Okay, well go ahead.
Yeah, Gordon.
You know what?
Are you speaking to like one of the biggest Tomb Raider fans, and you gonna go back to Punisher? I'm the only woman on this podcast, right? You supposed to be asking me.
Wait, whoa. You don't know how any of us identify.
Right.
How do you identify, DJ Hijack?
I'm quite male.
I'm a lesbian. So.
You guys are terrible. Well, I just think that, I feel like Tomb Raider as a game, when it first came out, she just had like a power to her that I think as the reboot has happened, like she, like with the game, she kind of looks like Jennifer Lawrence, and now with the movie, they got this, chick, and it was something like one of the things that made Lara Croft so appealing to me as a character was that like she was so badass, and I just think that badassery has been sacrificed to make her more realistic. But it's just like it's Tomb Raider, so it shouldn't be that realistic. Like, have any of you guys seen Atomic Blonde?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. I've seen clips though.
Yeah.
So do you see how badass Charlize Theron was? Like how fearless she was. Like she was badass. You know what I'm saying? And like Angelina Jolie bought that badassery to Tomb Raider, and I just feel like even though the game was beautiful, even though the games have been fun, I just think that she not as cool anymore. Like I like her. I still love this title. I still love this series, but like I'm not really all that impressed by what the new Tomb Raider movie looks like. And also the other thing that I feel like when Tomb Raider first came out, like I thought she was brown. Like she was a very ambiguous looking character. Like you may have known she was a British woman, but she was very brown. She had big brown lips and big brown eyes.
Yeah.
And
he's been Indian as far as we know.
What you say?
Right. She could have been Indian for as far as
she was like she was just like less
brown and British. Yep.
Right. She was just like less white. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with her, being white, but I just feel like they took this opportunity to have made her a darker, more, ambiguous American, or not ambiguous American, but ambiguous looking woman that's like more shapely, strong. You know what I'm saying? Like now she's a little wafy. She's a little. Angelina what?
Yeah, and Angelina Jolie. That kind of that big.
Just slightly. I mean, like she was just like Angelina Jolie, very similar to Charlize Theron, has a very powerful presence, and I just feel like, the recent, the recent ways that she's been depicted, like I get it, like this is her younger, coming to age stories and stuff, but it's just like she just don't seem about that life.
Yeah. I can agree with you on that. That Elizabeth Vikander, or Alicia, whatever her name is, she doesn't have that same presence. When she's on the screen, you don't stop and go like, "Who that?" like you do with Charlize or Angelina Jolie. So I agree. But there's actually very few recent younger actresses that are like that
that have that presence. Yeah, that's kind of hard to recreate.
So you have to recreate. You just gotta actually hunt for that person,
right?
And right now, there's not that many of them out there. But but it looks like it's not going to be a bad movie. But I don't know if it's ever going to.
I don't think I'm gonna like it better than I liked Atomic Blonde. Atomic Blonde was surprisingly an amazing movie. How did you feel about it, DJ?
Oh yeah, like I said, I like John Wick. It was very nice. It was John Wick light. There's a little bit of it that needed to be spiced up. If you've ever read that book it's based on, it's way better than the comic book that's based on it. Unfortunately, it didn't do the numbers it needed to, because we probably won't see another Atomic Blonde, which I'm disappointed in, because I felt like this one was good. The next one, an Atomic Blonde 2 would have really went over the top and did even better.
What about the overseas numbers? You think that will save it? Dang it.
It's not making it. Like I said, it didn't make money.
That's disappointing.
So, it's one of those things like, and it felt like back in the day, this movie, like back in the day, Atomic Blonde would have starred Cynthia Rothrock.
Which means you have got the splits and of course,
but it's actually like that, and it was good. I really I enjoyed it. I just I'm saddened that I don't think we're gonna see a second.
Well, let's all keep our fingers crossed, because it does sound like a fun.
And in many ways, it felt like I was seeing a better version of Saw.
Really? Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh yeah, it's worth it. It's worth watching. It was pretty good. Now, I think now we talked nice and got our Tomb Raider out. We don't need no more Punisher, Gordon.
Yeah.
Look here, man. I was just
jump onto Jumanji.
Oh, Jumanji.
Forgot about me. Oh, there's Jumanji. There's a new Jumanji movie coming out.
Or basically the
Trick.
sign of the apocalypse, as some people would say. We'll see that trailer.
Other people would say. But yes, the trailer for the extended trailer for the new Jumanji with, of course, Kevin Hart and The Rock was released. Looked like good times to me. So, well, do you have any? Have you seen it? What do you think?
I haven't seen the trailer for it.
You didn't quite come through on that one.
You timed out right there. Say it again.
I said I didn't see the trailer for it.
Oh. No. Well, you might. Yeah, I'd say. So, how do you feel about Kevin Hart and The Rock as a team? Have you seen their last movie?
I mean,
right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen them. I know that I haven't been enthusiastic about seeing them because it'd be looking hella corny. And it looks like, like if you in high school and you don't got nothing better to do, you go see that Kevin Hart in The Rock movie, because that's what you do. But, yeah, I mean, it might be good. Is it good? Are they a good duo? Are they really, really funny?
Yeah, I say it looks really funny to me. I mean, it looks fun. It looks, it's different. There are a lot of people upset because for them it's like, this is not my Jumanji. that comes from a lot of ignorance because people don't know that Jumanji was more than just a movie starring Robin Williams. There were actually books about it.
And it was a movie starring Robin Williams that a lot of those same people didn't like when it first came out. Now, I actually liked the first Jumanji when it first, because I thought this was like a crazy original idea. But a lot of the people panned the movie. That's one of the reasons why it took so long to come back to this one.
Well, it didn't do it well. But once again, that's not true. There was the Thor, which everybody forgets about.
Oh, that's true. That's right.
Which was which is also Jumanji. But everybody forgets there's a movie in between there. Then there's this one. I'd say it looks fun. The concept's pretty good. It has a forced-in Breakfast Club-like thing for no reason. But other than that, it looks very interesting. It looks quite funny. I mean, even it's got Jack Black in it, and he has to step back because you can only let Kevin Hart be irritated.
Right, you can't have Jack Black and Kevin Hart be irritated. That would be the worst. I actually am very interested in this movie, and I think it's going to be. It looks like
it's going to be a fun, funny adventure movie, and it's a different take on Jumanji also.
And I love the video game take on it, and I love the fact that they're going to be covering all the video game tropes, which is really upsetting me again.
Another reason why I think you might want to at least check out the trailer for it.
Have you checked out the trailer for? Now I'm interrupting you guys. Have you checked out speaking of video game tropes? Have you guys checked out the trailer for Ready Player One?
Yes. And what I find funny is the trailer looks extremely interesting. What I find funny is the people that have already scoured the trailer for little hints and stuff, and I'm like, I don't see it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that's because they've also read the book. And that's the problem is book people ruin things like Ready Player One.
Right.
Like you gotta hide out from it because there's so many people who read the book who just can't wait to spoil something. Say like, you know what that is? Do you know what that is?
Right.
You know that is? Like,
I am one of those people that read the book. At the end, have you guys read the book?
Oh no.
Neither one of you guys.
I listened to some of the book. Like I got it off Audible. Books want to read them now.
No, I haven't read it. DJ Hijack is he's listening to it.
I listen to it, so I do all my books through Audible.
So I mean, what is your?
I was enjoying some of it. It felt very familiar to me. One of my problems is and part of what I know people like about it is how drenched in nostalgia it is. How it's like super fan servicey. That actually rubs me the wrong way. And then of course I think half of it is Bill Wheaton reads it and I just can't stand him.
Bill Wheaton reads it? I was about to get the book off Audible.
Bill Wheaton. I know a lot of people I know a lot of people. I have friends that are friends with Bill Wheaton, and it's hard for me to go like, yeah, I can't stand that dude. But because he can come off a little bit know-it-all. But I know I do too.
Pretty much like his character on what's
the show that shall not be named.
Yeah, the show that shall not be named.
But from what I heard, like I could see, like it's the kind of thing that if I was a lot younger, when I was younger, I would have loved Ready Player One. But because as I got older, there's so much stuff that I've already liked that it seems like it's just cribbing from that I'm like, okay, it's all right. It doesn't what supposedly makes it original is not original. But and I didn't finish it though, so I need to finish it.
Okay. Say it one more time.
No, I said the thing that I was looking forward to just based off of the trailer and having not read the book, and now because the movie's coming out, I don't want to read the book. I want to kind of see how the movie handles it, and then I can go back. But I am looking forward with the involvement of the Iron Giants, the one that I'm kind of interested in how they interweave that into the story.
Well, I mean, it's you. I think that the movie will be a visual feast, but the story in and of itself is somewhat surface. But when you're talking about the video game tropes of the new Jumanji movie, I'm really curious as to if there's going to be is this going to be the new way that geeks are pandered to? Because like you mentioned that, and then I'm just like, the last time I heard someone use that phrase phrase video game tropes, it was Ready Player One. And now that I feel like all the comic book movies are being like ran through, I'm really curious as to like what the next thing is that all the geeks are gonna flock to, you know? Because I think that no matter how much you might like Batman and Iron Man and so on and so forth, like you gotta get tired of the movies after like the 10th one, you know what I'm saying? So you know, like what's gonna be the next big thing? So I like, what do you guys gonna be? All right, I'm gonna take over your podcast for a second, Gordon. What do you guys think is gonna be the next big thing in our geek media?
I think honestly, movies like Player One, Ready Player One, high sci-fi, and strangely enough, big budget kaiju films, because one, legendary, and two, because of Pacific Rim. And I think other companies are going to kind of jump on that train if they see the numbers that, if especially if Godzilla 2 does the numbers that people think it's supposed to do. I think then everybody's going to kind of jump on their big budget giant monster train. So
well, slow down. And that's not going to happen. Nobody's going to care about those kaiju things. You got to remember, Pacific Rim barely made it. It barely made it so successful. The Godzilla movie barely got squeaked through. You just had the King Kong movie, which barely squeaked through. There's a market for them, but the market, it doesn't justify the budget. So that's why we're not going to see a bunch of them. We're going to get the next one, and this next one has to do gangbusters. I think it's next with the geek stuff is, yes, I think they're tapping video games up way more. They're tapping it more because, one, those licenses are cheaper.
Yes, they are.
And easier to get than going for the comic book stuff. And they think, you know, you got a whole generation of people now don't read comics.
But they
haven't
play
read
video
comics.
games.
All their comic knowledge actually just comes from the movies anyway. So, you know, I'm saying that, yeah, there might be, as soon as we start seeing things like an Overwatch movie, then we know it's going to happen. Now, Hollywood, or I should say the movie industry, very slow. So we need to wait till we see more people from the gaming generation that comes into Hollywood or the movie industry to make that change really happen. But right now, it seems like they're going to keep up the same old. They'll be having a lot of old TV series and a lot of old movies and comic books to get there. And then some of them probably won't realize they're comics.
Yeah.
So, like, I guarantee you're going to see a new Buck Rogers sooner or later.
Although I would love to see like a Mega Man movie. That would be dope.
Yeah.
That would be dope. It's so, I've thought I've kind of gone over my head. How would they go over a Call of Duty style movie?
I mean, how would they? You've seen any Army of Action?
Well, yeah, but I mean, are they going
to Michael Bay and say, "Here you go, let's get to it"?
Oh, no, not a Michael Bay. No, not Michael Bay. Well, actually, you know what? Yeah.
Call of Duty.
Anything with soldiers. Come on. You're right. Yeah. Slow motion pans of planes flying. That's all you're gonna see.
But yeah, I'd say that. And strangely enough, you never know. You know, board game, movies could blow up again too. Like they're trying to redo Clue. So who knows? Yeah.
So it's a lot to tap from, and you never know. And we're like sheep. We're just we'll just go over there.
I'm too much of a snob to be like sheep.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're a stuck-up sheep.
Thank you.
But you're still a sheep. Man. But no, so that's what we're thinking. What about yourself? I know you. What are you thinking that the geeks will be pandered to?
Well, I mean, there's so much technology that is coming out that we really haven't utilized, like AR and VR, and these companies have been valuated at like $1 billion, like for like Magic Leap or something, and Oculus and everything. They're trying to get more and more people to see that as a conventional way of consuming media. So I think that movies are going to try to find narratives that really tap into like immersing yourself in a story in a different kind of way. I don't know if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I think like Ready Player One does that because it panders to everybody in every way. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're gonna have a little bit of like that confusing period where like people are just gonna just see what sticks. And I'm really curious as to like how people will view like a Jumanji, Ready Player One, and the other movies that are undoubtedly going to copy this, idea. And I'm really curious to see like what's gonna stick because they can't just make all this content that repeats itself. Like something got to be new at some point. So I just think that the bubble is gonna burst a little bit, and maybe we'll actually see some new stuff. Like remember like back in the like 90s there's like a Lawnmower Man and like when the Matrix first came out and stuff like that. Like we haven't had that in like 10 years where it's like been like a movie that makes you go whoa, like has there been a movie that's like that blew your mind, like your brain just freaking exploded?
I would say that movie was attempted and it flopped horribly this year. What was it? From old boy that did the Bruce Willis movie, The Fifth Element, the same.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Valerian. So he came out very ambitious.
No. Yes and no. The problem is those type of movies aren't appreciated when they happen. They're more appreciated afterwards. So like, although Matrix blew a lot of people away, Matrix got stronger the more time went with the Matrix.
Right.
So to help build them, people are like, okay, something's different here. Just something. And Valerian is more of it's like The Fifth Element in the fact that it's going to be something that people talk about later, not right now. And going by, made me go wow since, and it has been like things like The Raid.
Yeah,
like that movie blew my mind.
Yeah.
But it's a different kind of movie, and I think one of the differences and it's already starting to happen, is that we're reverting back to the time before the '90s, where movies weren't expensive, they were cheap, and they put out more of them. They put out more movies that weren't trying to overdo it. That's why we got more chances. That's why we got a Golden Child back in the day and stuff like that was different. Because they were cheaper, so you could take more chances. So and since movies are getting cheaper, they're going to go and make cheaper movies instead of these big blockbusters. We have a higher chance of seeing more ideas. Now we won't see as much spectacle, but we'll see more ideas.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's going to be like I'm talking about like I'm really curious, like, because I think we are entering into this bubble where we're getting to see all the ideas we want between Amazon, Netflix, and Hulu, like, and YouTube. Like now you don't have to, really look very far for something pretty progressive. But I'm just talking about the movie industry. Maybe the movie industry might die. What do you think?
I don't think it'll die, but I think it's
not dying. It's changing. Like they are like Hulu and Amazon,
their old models are dying.
Right, they are the movie industry. They are. I mean, just take some of we've had a couple of the theater-driven movies were actually made by Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Manchester by the Sea.
Manchester by the Sea.
Amazon movie.
And the Idris Elba movie where he was
Yeah, this Amazon movie. The difference is they're becoming the new gatekeepers. They're still movies. They're just different people in charge.
Yeah, and I know this with Netflix and with Amazon, especially Netflix. They are trying some stuff new in the sci-fi genre.
Now the theater is what's in trouble, and I think that's just going to become a different kind of experience. It's going to be way more expensive than we want it to be, and it's going to be for special events.
Right.
So, and for special versions. That's why they keep wanting to push things, and that's why I guarantee you're gonna see the Galaxy Gear VR helmets on seats instead of 3D glasses for movies coming up. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they said, "Hey, Ready Player One's gonna have a VR version that you go to the theater, you slap on these Galaxy Gears on and watch the movie in VR at a movie theater." Now that sounds crazy, but right now people are going to amusement parks.
They slap on VR gear.
Slapping on VR gear to ride the
ride. And they go into these rooms now.
No, they're not in rooms.
Mazes.
They're on a ride.
No, I'm saying besides that, they also have mazes in there as well, and they're doing the same thing.
And strangely enough, it's additive. It's not exclusive. So I think I see that coming too. They're gonna be more like amusement experience instead of every day. We're gonna still get movies. We're gonna still have the movie industry. It's gonna be all on our couch and phone instead of the big screen all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you can go to a Best Buy and get a big screen now. So, so that's really where I think the industry is going.
Well, hopefully World War III doesn't happen and we're not all living in a version of an apocalyptic movie ourselves. So, we'll get to see what happens ourselves. So,
well, if we can make it past 12 midnight today, then, we're good.
I don't know about that, but I will make a pact, that we'll live to see another day.
I bet $1.
I've already got my Home Depot staked out, so I know where to go.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, we've already staked that. We do the like that. Yeah, we already have a plan.
You got to catch her at Home Depot. You got to catch her a Costco or a Sam's.
Right.
Those are places you want to get for when something goes down. They're well fortified and they got all the stuff.
And you must loot a Walmart first. Is this where all the bullets are?
Sam's, see, that's why you get Sam's and Costco bullets there too.
Oh, that's true. And pretty much an unlimited supply.
Hit them in ours.
Yep.
Be pretty good there.
So, we're pretty much prepared. All right. Well, Keisha.
Yes.
It has been a pleasure. We have really enjoyed this conversation. It's been beyond our wildest dreams of how good this episode could be, especially for this ratchet ass show.
Way to talk about our own show.
I mean, but I love it. I say it lovingly.
Expectation.
I don't know how long this marriage is gonna last.
Oh, it's gonna last forever and ever and ever.
Oh well.
So,
but yeah, thank you for joining us. It's nice to have somebody else to talk to besides this guy.
Yeah. I can say the same thing. So,
it's good to have an actual brain in the room.
We really appreciate you. So, we like to do this thing where we give out all our social media. So, Ms. Howard, give out all your social media to our fans and listeners and all those good people.
At Sugar Gamers on everything. It is spelled correctly. Sugar Gamers on all the things. Just Google it. It'll come up and we'll be like, hello. So, yeah, just Sugar Gamers.
All right, that's what's up. DJ Hijack, want to give out all your socials and all that good stuff?
You know where to find me. You know how to get to know me. And if you don't, I don't want to know you. But hashtag Hijack Radio for all you music lovers. Check out my mixes. And at DJ Hijack, HYJK, on all the social media.
All right, and of course, I am at DKG72 on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. And you can also find me on the David Gordon fan page and the Kwame Hightower Facebook fan page.
And
also,
SugarDaddy.com. He's looking late.
I've got a few years to go. But also, check us out also on that Big Fan Hero YouTube page. Check out the Big Fan Hero Instagram,
Facebook page.
There you go. So, DJ Hijack.
Yep.
All right, this is the end of the show. So I'm DKG72.
I'm DJ Hijack, your master, your homie, your lover, your friend.
A homie, lover, friend. And this is the Big Fat Podcast. Peace.
Be out.
What a wonderful world.